It's me, oh Yah, standing in the need of prayer. And if I'm in error, brothers and sisters, I can be corrected. I can be wrong. I will be wrong if I'm wrong. But if I'm right, then you have an obligation and a responsibility, according to Yah, to come up to his standard. That's all I'm requesting. I'm not on here because I don't have nothing else to do. I have a lovely Isha. And she would appreciate all of my time on the Shabbat, wouldn't you, honey? But because I have a call to do what the Most High called me to do, even when I don't want to do it, I don't want to be on here every Shabbat. Sometimes I dread, not in a bad sense, but sometimes I say, Abba, Father, Yah, why? I was happy behind the keyboards, playing the keys and just being quiet, just singing songs, getting people inspired. I was happy doing that, right? I don't need this. That's where I stand, but I'm not my own, and neither are you. We're all bought with a price, right? So let's go ahead and do our opening reading. Exodus chapter 19. I got my seeing eye glasses today. Oh my mercy. I like that. This old, who used to say that? Where did I get that from? Seeing eye glasses. Somebody old. I know my father used to say it, but he got it from his father. Exodus chapter 19, verses 1 through 5. Verses 1 through 6. I always say 1 through 5. I don't know why I say that. In the third month, when the children of Israel were going forth out of the land of Mizraim, the same day. See, that's why I like this. When you read that, the Most High said it was the same day. It wasn't another day. It wasn't a week later. It was the same day. The same day came they into the wilderness. That means what? When the Most High pulled them out of Egypt, they came out there with haste. When the Most High exposed you to the truth, you're supposed to come out with haste. You're not supposed to stay there. You're supposed to come out. When you're confronted with truth, don't run from it. Run to it. And that's the problem with some people. They won't run to the truth of Yah. They run from it. You know you can't sleep at night. You know when you do blow the dust off of that book and you start reading, you know your spirit gets convicted about the falsehood and fables that your pastor won't stop teaching. And then want to shortcut it and say, it doesn't matter. You know you're convicted when you sleep at night. You know when you get on your knees to pray or wherever you pray, your spirit gets convicted and the Most High starts dealing with you about different things. You know. You don't have. Then you go to your pastor, ask your pastor about something that you've been revealed in a dream, and the pastor going to sugarcoat it and tell you, well, you know, some things we just don't know. So what does that require for you to do? That requires for you to get on your knees, for you to get in this book, for you to fast and seek the Most High and find out why he keeps disturbing your sleep. Why you can't keep a husband. Why you can't keep a wife. Why you're not comfortable where you live, on your job, in your home. When your spirit starts getting uncomfortable, it's because the Most High is trying to speak to you. And then when he starts directing you into truth, because it's not what you're comfortable with, you start kicking against it and fighting. Later on one day, some of y'all going to wake up and then you're going to be looking for me and I'm going to be gone. Then, brother, what happened to Charles Cotton? That's my birth name. He gonna be gone. I'm not saying I'm gonna be dead up in anywhere. I'm just saying you ain't gonna be able to find me, right? Then you'll seek the truth. So the Spirit is dealing with you all the time about the truth, but you keep running to your pastor, running to your bishop, running to your evangelist, running to your woman of God or your man of God, as you call them, to only have them to pacify the feelings and not speak the truth to you. Many years, I'm going to get back to reading this, but many years, the Most High kept dealing with me. Man, I was playing the keyboard, and I remember one time going to a Methodist church. I was playing for this Methodist church, and the pastor had a processional. They all procession in, had the little cross and whatnot. And they went down there, had a little cross, and they were singing a song. And I was playing. I think I was playing a pipe organ. And it was coming in. I was hitting them pipes. And then every Sunday they would read out of this Exodus chapter 20. And then they would get to the part that said, first they would say, I'm gonna give it to you the way they say it. The Lord is in this temple, let all the earth be silent before thee. And I had that pipe organ. I could play a pipe organ back then. Well, I'm telling you, I don't know where I learned how to play it, but I guess it was the Ruach was on me back then. Then they would start reading, I am Yahweh. According to say, they didn't say Yahweh. You know, they said the Lord God, who brought thee out of the land of Egypt. Thou shalt have no other before me. And then they get to the part where it says, remember the Sabbath day, to keep it holy. 6 days shall a man labor and do all his work, but the seventh day is a Sabbath, right? And I'm on the organ, but I'm like, every Sunday they would read that and make a proclamation. And then I went home one Sunday after playing and read it. I said, the Sabbath day. And I said, wait a minute, isn't Sunday the first day of the week? And I said, why are we here on Sunday? And every Sunday we read, remember the seventh day. It didn't make no sense to me that we kept reading that, but we was doing the exact opposite of what we were reading. So I asked the pastor the question. I said, Pastor, every Sunday when the choir procession was in, and Josiah laughed, he liked that. When the pastor processional in, Shabbat Shalom, word Josiah, and they would say, remember the Sabbath day, right? I asked the question. I said, when is the Sabbath day? I was sincere. I was a sincere young musician. He told me out of his own mouth. He said, the Sabbath day is Saturday. So now I'm scratching my head. I'm like, it is? He said, yeah. I said, but what's the day? Sunday. What day of the week is Sunday? He said, the first day of the week. I said, well, aren't we in contradiction to what we're reading? I said, because we read every Sunday, remember the seventh day, but we here on the first day, remember the seventh day. I said, I'm confused. This is what he told me. This is what the pastor told me. This is what the reverend told me, the most reverend. He said, the Lord rose on the first day of the week. And in honor to the Lord and our Savior Jesus Christ, we keep the first day in honoring of his resurrection. I said, where is that at in the scriptures? Where is that in the Bible that we change the day from the 7th to the 1st? Because we keep reading. I said, because if it's in there, we need to change and stop reading that every Sunday and remember the first day. He said it's not in there. He said the church changed it. He said, and the Lord honored it. That was his answer. And it bothered me for years. That bothered me for years because I looked at that reverend from a different perspective. Because I'm like, he think I'm a fool. We're reading it here where it says, remember the 7th day. And the reverend going to tell me, remember that we changed the 7th day to the first day of the week. Right? What am I saying, brothers and sisters? I'm saying these pastors, many of them know the truth. But they refuse to tell you the truth for filthy lucre's sake. They're not going to tell you the truth about Christmas. Why? Because if they do, they're going to lose them tithes and offerings. You're going to leave him and go somewhere where you can keep your tree up in your house. Where you can deck the halls with barrels of folly. I know it's barrels of holly, but it's barrels of folly is what it is. All right. Now, let's go back. So we always hit some things in the midst of where we're going. All right. Now, he says, the Most High said, the same day, verse 2, for they were departed from Rephidim and were come to the desert of Sinai and pitched in the wilderness, and there Israel camped before the mount. Moses went up unto Elohim, and Yah called unto him out of the mountain, saying, thus shalt thou say to the house of Yaakov, and tell the children of Israel, that's who you are, you're the children of Israel. See, let me just say this here. I have some beloved family members. Maisha can tell you, we had a debate maybe 4 years ago. We were sitting at a family gathering, and we were talking about, and the word was out that I was a Muslim, and the word was out that I had another religion, and all of the lies just to discredit what I teach or what I believe or what I say. So we started talking about the Messiah, who they call Jesus. And I said to them, well, the Messiah wasn't a European. He was a black man. So, and my issue can attest to this. This was a pastor. He's a family member. He may stumble across this. He could probably remember the conversation. So he agreed that the Messiah was black. But now when we started talking about, well, how could the Messiah be black and the people, his family members, the children of Israel, not be black? And boy, it was total chaos. Right? Now, what am I saying? The same spirit that was on Israel back in the day when the Most High called Israel out of Egypt the same day and told them this thing here. They rejected it. Why? Because to know you Israel means that you have some requirements on you. Some people love the identity, but don't love the responsibility that comes with you knowing you Israel. All right. With that said, let me go back and finish with this. Okay. So he says, Moshe went up unto Elohim, and Yahweh called unto him out of the mountain, saying, thus shalt thou say to the house of Yaakov, and tell the children of Israel, you have seen what I did to the Egyptians, how I bore you on eagle's wings, and brought you unto myself. Now, here's another little plug. Eagle's wings means to be swift. When the Most High said, I bore Israel on eagle's wings, we didn't leave out of Egypt on planes, right? We didn't leave out of Israel in chariots. But we left out of Egypt on foot. So when he said, I'll bore you on eagle's wings, the wings mean swiftness. Right? So if you go to Deuteronomy 28 and you see the eagle as swift as the eagle flies, what does that mean? That means we went into captivity quick. And if you look at this movie, Amistad, was it Amistad when, who was it Amistad when they threw that net on, who was that, the actor? We threw them real fast and they snatched them up. And Alex Haley's Roots, Kunta Kinte, has the same scene where they snatched him up. The eagle's wing simply means quickly. All right. So when we went into captivity, it was quick. Just like the Most High took us out of captivity quick, he did what? He sent us back in captivity quick into the four corners. That's how a lot of people were caught off guard, because the slave traders came so fast. It captured. If we go through, and I don't want to do it, we'll do on a future lesson. Israel was snatched. I think it says somewhere, Israel was snatched up. When you snatch something, it's quick. It's like you kill a fly. You know, a fly's flying around, and you get that fly swatter and you go. That's how fast the captivity was. Taken into captivity. Eagle's wings. All right. Now, so he said, I'll bore you up on eagle's wings and brought you to myself. Now, therefore, oh, I like that. Something else came with that eagle's wing. Well, I like this thing, give you Revelation, where he said, they shall mount up with wings like an eagle. What is it? They shall walk
and not be weary.
And not be weary. They shall
walk and not faint.
Walk and not faint. They shall run and not get weary. Is it run and not be weary?
Mm-hmm.
And walk and not faint.
Yep.
They shall mount up with wings. What does that mean? That means that this the Most High in the last day, brothers and sisters, when he's waking us up, we mounting up with wings. It's like you look up, boom, somebody else that you thought was firm and founded and rooted in Christianity or Islam or whatever other religion, quickly he snatched them up out of there. Mounted up in wings. Woo. I'm telling you, that thing is so powerful. When it hits you, I mean, you could be at work. Man, when I was driving tractor and trailer, I had a whole lot of time to meditate and think. Man, I saw my whole life flash before my eyes, just like that. Brother Frank can probably attest to that. When you're out there on that road driving long distance, you got nothing but miles ahead of you. Boy, you spend a lot of time thinking. Go over your life. You see your life just like that, right? So that eagle's wings, he shall mount up wings like an eagle. All right. You have seen what I did to the Egyptians, how I bore you on eagle's wings. Now, therefore, if you will obey my voice indeed and keep my covenant. So I'm telling my testimony because what happened was when the Most High started dealing with me about the seventh day, right? It says here, if you will obey my voice indeed. When he starts giving you little nuggets, he's setting you up for you to hear, for you to shema and then to shamar, to hear and then to guard his word, right? That's what he said. If you therefore will obey, right? That's shamar. my voice indeed and no, Shema, I'm sorry. If you will Shema, obey, meaning hear, and if you will Shamar, keep my covenant, then you shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people, for all the earth is mine. And you shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and a Kodesh nation. These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Yasharal. All right. So that's what the Most High is saying to us, so-called African Americans, blacks, and Negroes. You're the biblical Israelites. And the reason why you feel uncomfortable, the reason why the pandemic has come, the reason why these prophets, their prophecies have already failed. What's going on now is they're trying to overturn the election. The prophecies failed. All right. And they really weren't prophecies. As we're learning in this lesson, what they call prophecy is a word of knowledge. Okay, prophecy is what we're doing right now. We are taking the word of Yah and speaking under inspiration, connecting the dots to what the prophets of old said before we had a manuscript. So that's what the Most High has done in this hour, has raised up prophets. The true prophets are the ones that's speaking under the inspiration of the Most High to wake up Israel. Okay. And then you have prophets and teachers, right? Because every prophet is not a teacher. Some people can only speak when they get inspired. You ask them to break the scriptures down, they can't, because they're not a teacher. Right?